I wanted to make this video about anxiety symptoms, sensations that I don't really hear too much people talk about. When you have anxiety, panic attacks, you get so many symptoms, right? Sometimes I remember at one point that I used to ask, "Oh, does anyone have this symptom?" Someone would say, "No, I never heard of it," and then it makes you think, "Oh my God, if maybe I do have some kind of illness, because no one else has it, right?" For me, there's a lot of common ones, but for me, I'll just list the ones I get. You might have it, you might not have it, but I know it's anxiety because I don't get them all the time. When I feel the panic coming, how I feel tired, the anxiety from whatever comes up, then I would feel these symptoms, these sensations. Number one would be sometimes it feels like my head feels like I'm wearing a hat, right? I'm not talking about that tight band around your head. Sometimes it feels like my head is either too big, or it feels like my head is smaller. Sometimes it feels like my brain is about to explode. Sometimes it feels like my brain is like missing a piece, like there's something missing in my head. Sometimes instead of this pressure or this headache, sometimes it feels like someone is stabbing my on the head with a sharp object that won't cut through. For example, like someone is taking like a busted pen and just like jamming up my head, like trying to beat me with it. The other thing I get is feels like there's like fluid dripping down my head, my brain, my ears. It's like water, some kind of liquid, just like dripping through different parts of my body, but mostly from my head. I do get ringing in the ears from time to time. That tight pressure inside the ear. Anything with the ears, you might feel lightheaded, dizzy, vertigo, because your ears is your part of your balance center with your eyes. The other thing with the eyes, I get sometimes I feel like when I have panic attacks, my eyesight gets better. I do wear glasses, okay? So I need to wear glasses when I'm driving, okay? Especially at night, okay? And then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, why can I see so much better when my anxiety spikes up? So same thing with my hearing. Sometimes I feel like I can hear better. Then other times, sometimes I feel ringing in the ear. Sometimes it feels like someone's knocking on the door on my bedroom, and then I go, "Who is it?" No one answered. Then I open the door. I was like, "Wait, everyone's sleeping." No one was actually knocking on the door. I just I'm hearing this, and then I answer, and then no one answered. So then I get up and look. I'm like, "Oh my God, am I just hearing this now?" Sweating, right? When you have anxiety, you sweat. However, when it's cold, I remember the first winter having panic attacks. Okay, I would be covered in sweat it feel like I just came out the shower. Keep in mind, I live in California, so it doesn't get really cold during summer. I mean, it doesn't get really cold during winter. Maybe in like the 50s, the lowest. Okay, and then I'm like, why am I sweating when it's cold? I never sweat even when it's hot, right? But during panic attacks, anxiety, I start sweating no matter how hot it is, how cold it is, right? Other thing I get is this electric shock sensation in my head, like my brain. I feel like I'm getting shocked in my head. And then it's like quick zaps throughout the part of my body. And then sometimes when I touch my hair falls off. Not like a whole patch of hair, just like some of it will just fall off if I look at my pillowcase. And when I take showers and then I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm getting electrocuted, because when you get shocked and you touch water, you get electrocuted. That's what I feel like sometimes. And having to use the bathroom countless of times. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm drinking water. And then I just use the bathroom. Sometimes if I know I have to use the bathroom, I'll just drink the water right now so I can go use the bathroom. And then I go to the bathroom, then a couple of minutes later I have to go use it again. I'm like, oh my God, why am I using the bathroom nonstop? The other thing I get, restless leg. It feels like your legs never stops moving. When you're laying down and you're tired, your legs are kicking, like it's telling you to get up. sometimes one side of my leg feels longer than the other. Like my leg grew, one side is like 1 inch longer than the other. Sometimes I feel like I got taller by a foot. Sometimes I feel shorter. Which is the other strangest thing. And the other sensation, I guess, sometimes when it's sunny, but sometimes I feel like it's too sunny. It's like the sun is right in my face. And then I put shades in my car. My windows are tinted, and I feel like it's still too bright. When it's cloudy, I feel like it's too cloudy. You know, then I'm like, oh my God, why does it feel like one or the other? It doesn't feel. And then I ask people, does it feel like it's really bright? They say it's just bright, but not like where they can't open their eyes. Sometimes I feel like I can't open my eyes because it's so bright. And then my glasses are tinted, so when it's sunny, the tint is there to make it look like sunglasses. And I'm like, oh my God, I still feel like it's too bright for me. And then I'm like, oh my God, forget this. And the other thing, sometimes I'm hungry, I can't eat. When I'm not hungry, I can eat. It's like, what's going on? Why can I eat a lot when I'm not hungry? But I can eat when I'm not hungry at all. But when I'm hungry, I can't eat. It's like my taste buds are messing with me. The other thing I get, sometimes I feel like I'm walking too fast, walking too slow. And sometimes my surroundings feel like it's too slow, and then I feel like I'm moving too fast. Sometimes it feels like I'm too slow and everything else is moving too fast. Same thing with the memory. Sometimes I can remember something that happened 5, 10, 15 years ago, but I can't remember what happened 5 minutes ago, like where I left something. And the other thing sometimes I get is I'm thinking, and then I'm starting to think, what the heck was I thinking about, and then it's part of that memory. But that's pretty much it that I know of, that no one really talks about when they're talking about anxiety symptoms and sensations.